sides as we're a duo. We're like together. Oh no, it's being live stream, so it's
Yeah. Yeah.
Well,
I
I was
wanted to
like,
catch
yeah,
Eric in the act. You see this, Jeff?
yeah.
This blasphemy here. What the fuck?
yeah.
I'm always talking shit
Just
about
gonna
Jeff.
come
I
on
love
here and
Jeff.
be like, excuse me.
Actually. But welcome everybody to the Spellbound Survivor Tribal Council. This is the final 10 Tribal Council. For those of you who don't know, Glenda and Sam have individual immunity, guaranteed a 1 in 9 shot of winning this game. As for the rest of you, you are subject to the judgment of your peers. First off, let's start off with Kevin. I mean, you guys had live night, which historically is very hectic, but everyone voted off Gianna. Do you think there's going to be another unanimous vote tonight, or do you think there's actually going to be some friction tonight?
I mean, we'll really just have to see. I think with the live night, we were just like kind of trying to get it done as quickly as possible. We all just didn't want to like overcomplicate things. And I feel like now it's like we're actually playing the game. That's what I feel like. So we'll see.
And now there's no opportunity to rest anymore. Like at least with like tribal immunities, you can like take the
Yeah.
day or two off or however many days off we grant you to just chill. But now even the people who have one immunity, yeah, they're safe, but that doesn't guarantee their safety or their security in their spot or positioning coming into the next round. So the next question is for Eric. What's it like? You know, it's constant nonstop from here on. It's a marathon. We're going to be voting off somebody every 2 or 3 days. How do you deal with them?
I mean, like a lot of us have played Survivor before, so I think we're kind of used to it. But the things that we're not used to is probably like certain twists that are going to come around the corner and things like that. So, like I think pretty much everyone's just trying to find a solid voting group and moving forward with that.
And to find a solid group is going to be very difficult, not only with the myriad of tribe swaps we had in the pre-merge, but there's been never been really an opportunity for a solid group of people to continue to be on the same tribe over and over and over and over again. So, Jason, how do you build that trust? Is tonight going to be the night where people build trust with one another, or do you think there's already trust being built?
I mean, I think coming to emerge, like this is the night where trust is built because everything's shaken up now. And so I feel like the vote is going to define where trust is built.
And
That
this
makes any sense.
It's kind of like the first tribal council where like it's you're finally putting like your toes, you're dipping them into the pool, seeing like feeling out what's the temperature and feeling out how other people are feeling and how receptive they are to you, how much information is being relayed. There are 9 different relationships and 9 different one-on-ones you have to manage in order for you to be secure tonight. So my next question is for Jay. I mean, what's it like having to talk to 9 people throughout the day? I'm assuming it's hard.
Yeah, it's a bit exhausting, huh? It's like, but at least even though it seems like you said, you have to talk to 9 people throughout the upcoming days before a vote, and like some days you're not talking to anybody because maybe a lot of people have something going on and then it's not lining up with your schedule, and then other days like you have free time and you're talking to everybody because like this is the day you're around. So it's just like having to manage that time and be able to talk with everybody at least once before you go to vote or before you get to that point is very important.
And speaking of managing, of course, we all know now that everybody who gets voted up from here on out is going to be joining on the jury. So absolutely, we need to be cognizant of jury management. Granted, Gianna got sent home unanimously, so nobody can sit here and say, "Well, I didn't vote for you," because everybody voted off Gianna. But Jonathan, how do you manage somebody on their way out? Like, how can you be tasteful about we weren't on the same page? I voted you off, but please still respect me.
Um, you just have to keep a line of communication throughout the game. And I don't know, for me, just like letting people know that no matter how things go, like we're still going to be friends afterwards. That's important.
And throughout this experience, people build those friendships and build those interpersonal relationships where it makes it difficult. Granted, you guys haven't all spent time together in this merge tribe for too long, but eventually emotions are going to start getting in the way and interfering with our decisions. Next question goes to Morgan. How do you balance that emotional and like that human element of the game and the need to play strategically and vote and do what's best for your game?
That's the perfect question for me because if anybody knows, I usually cry at tribal. So thank you so much, Jacob, for asking me this question. I think I have experienced both sides of moves, and I've played enough of these at this point that at the end of the day, it is a game. At first, like any move stings, it hurts to betray somebody that you thought you had a connection with or like you do like on a personal level, but we're all here, we signed up for the same thing, so no matter what side you're on it, we've all at this point I feel like been on both sides of it, and I think we can all respect each other. Is that a good answer?
I'd say that's a pretty good answer.
Thank
And
you.
really, you're welcome. I singled you out, Morgan. That's why I was thinking, who's
Because you've seen me cry,
Yes,
or
I've seen every dimension of Morgan's personality. Well, my next question goes to Glenda. On the topic of just like jury management and whatnot, do you feel like it's fair game to already be calling somebody a jury threat? And like, is it too early? Because there's only one juror that's on the table now. So like, how can we really measure a jury threat or just a threat altogether?
When you say a jury threat, do you mean like one of us playing now is like a threat in the sense that the jury would love them?
I mean, just win equity, just whether just the prospects of potentially getting to the end, who they can win over of the people here who may be on the jury, and I guess the single juror we have then. Like, do you think it's fair game to already be throwing out this person gets to the end, they're winning this whole thing?
I think, and I may be being idealistic, but I think it's only fair to have faith in the jury as players of the game and go into jury season, the final tribal, if you will, understanding that these people will probably not have their decision already made. Like, yeah, it could be easy to root for the person who was your friend the whole game, but taking that out of it and understanding this is Survivor who survived the best, I guess. Again, this might be idealistic, but I think it's nice to have faith in the fact that the jury will leave their opinion open and be subject to influence and not just be deaf to what the people standing up there pitching their cases, you know?
And, you know, that's also something that the players need to do as well. They need to be open. They need to be susceptible. They need to be able to adapt. If you're not flexible in this game, then you're probably going to be left behind, you know? So my last question, I guess the questionnaire will go to Sam as you're the only one who I haven't given a question to. Just, are people going to be left behind tonight? Are there people that are being rigid and unwavering and unmoving, or do we have a bunch of do we have 10 adaptable players here on this cast?
I think we're all adaptable to some extent. But yeah, I don't see us all being on the same page tonight, if that's what you're asking. Also, I'm missing the pink hat. Put it back, thank you.
I'm sorry. During challenges will be the pink hat. During tribal council, it's the survivor.
Your hair looks a lot smaller too today. I don't know what's happened. Maybe it's size just because of the hat, but
maybe it's the hat. Maybe this is a different flavor because you said that this is strawberry. This is my ice cream.
Yeah, and that's you're wearing pistachio, and I hate pistachio. Go away.
Go, period. Exactly. You're not supposed to like seeing this hat, Jacob. You're not supposed to like.
I'm not Jacob. I'm Sam. Nice to meet you.
Well, nice to meet all of you. Well, that concludes the formal questionnaire of the tribal council. And from here on out, if I ask you a question, raise your hand if it applies to you. Don't raise your hand if it doesn't. Shake your hand if you're a bit unsure. 50-50, so or so. Raise your hand if, well, I mean, I know Glenda and Sam are raising their hands for this. Raise your hand if you think you're safe. Not even Glenda's raising her hand, and she has immunity. She thinks someone is going to yoink that necklace away from her and like banish her off to the nether region, period. All right, next question. Raise your hand if you
another region.
To another region. We're swapping over to Big Brother. It's actually a Big Brother night, actually. So the second question. Raise your hand if you think you're getting votes, but you're still going to be safe. You think your name's been out there, but I'll be fine. So no one's name's been out there, period. Last question. Raise your hand if you think you're going home. You think this is it. This is your last time here on Spellbound Survivor Charm. across 3 questions, 1 hand was raised, maybe 2, and both of them were Sam. So it's gonna be very interesting to see how this vote plays out. Everybody cast in their votes, submit their votes, change their votes, vote if you haven't. And since this is the first tribal council that's being live streamed, now's the finally you can shout people out while I go tally the votes. Chili dogs.
Hi, friends.
Hello. Shout out to my amazing prod guest Jen. There we go. Jesus Christ.
Shout out to my podcast who doesn't exist.
Shout out to my mom, who some of you met halfway through the challenge. That woman's my best friend. You guys don't even understand. I love
She's
my
fabulous.
mom. She's so good. Shout out to my mom. I love you, mommy. I hope you see
What
this
does she
later.
do? Fast money with you?
Yeah,
I love that.
she's so
I'm
great.
gonna give a
Shout out-
shout out to my podcast Topher and Minor, and then this. If anybody knows this bitch, Susie.
We love Susie.
Susie says hi to
Susie.
everybody.
Yeah. Shout out to Morgan Collins and Grace, my prod chat.
I really need to get some more friends, don't I?
Sam's gonna like next tribal council, like if he like hold up a sign and it's gonna say like join my podcast. Join my podcast.
A massive list. It'll be one of those pages that keep getting longer and longer and longer.
Yeah.
When Nathan played Kaleidoscope, it was his very first org, and I was like, "Oh, do you want podcast?" And he's like, "What is that?" And I was just like, "You want one? Just like, they'll help you, whatever." I finally, like, on whatever round it was, I got him a prod guest, and he got voted out that round. And I was like, "Yeah."
It works. That's how it
That
works.
sucks.
So he had someone to support him when he got voted out. So there was that at least.
It was interesting. Robbed King.
I was never on a tribe with him, so I wouldn't know.
He's a sweetheart. Jacob, is that meant to be Sonic on your picture?
Chili dogs.
Oh, it looks like Sonic the Hedgehog.
All right. I have the votes. If anybody has an idol or advantage that they would like to play, now is the time to do so. All right. The window has been closed. Once I read the votes, the person who has just been eliminated has just a few moments to gather his, her, or their belongings and get the hell off of my island. First vote. Eric. Morgan. That's 1 vote, Eric. 1 vote, Morgan. Eric. That's 2 votes, Eric. Morgan. That's 2 votes, Eric. 2 votes, Morgan. Morgan. That's 3 votes, Morgan. 2 votes, Eric. Morgan. That's 4 votes, Morgan. 2 votes, Eric. Eric. That's 4 votes, Morgan. 3 votes, Eric. Eric. We're at a tie. 4 votes, Morgan. 4 votes, Eric. Eric. That's 5 votes, Eric. 4 votes, Morgan. 1 vote left. 9th person voted off. Spellbound Survivor Charmed and the 2nd member of our jury, Eric. That is 6, and tonight that is enough. Eric, if you have any final words, now is your opportunity to speak them.
It was a good game, definitely a good Survivor round. It sucks, but it is what it is. I definitely expected that this could happen tonight. But yeah, everyone's gaming. I love it. Keep it up, guys, and I hope you guys have a good rest of your game. Bye bye.
It's always a pleasure to see you. Thank you so much for playing Spellbound Survivor. Saw you on Power Grab, said I gotta yoink this guy and then put him on my cast. So it's a pleasure to hear from you and just to be in the same spaces as you. But unfortunately, the tribe has spoken, and that means you must leave the Zoom now.
Sounds good. Thanks, guys. Bye.
Well, that was nothing at all like Live Night. And as Eric said, you guys are gaming, and depending on how this next round plays out, we may have more gaming to come. Well, congratulations on making it to Final 9, and I'm going to end this stream.